Hey guys, so it's been a while, right? And it might be a little bit noisy here because I'm in like a bar. Because you know what, I have a work thing. Nice to see you here, Gayla and Jenny. Let me know if you guys can hear me because my audio is different this time than what I use at home. I didn't bring my entire setup, I only brought part of it. Um, so very glad to see you all again. And yes, we're back. And I'm going to have these more or less regularly. As I say that, I'm thinking, well, I'm going away next week. But then I'll be back in town for quite a while. So I've missed you guys. I've missed these writing sprints. I've missed all of it because it's really been weird to not be writing fiction. I've been working so much. I had this 3-day event that just took a significant amount of time to be doing. So, hi, NBR. Nice to see you here in the chat and in the live stream. I do have a writing prompt for you guys. I just thought of it like 45 seconds ago because he was out of the groove of doing this. And everything will get more regular on the channel in the coming weeks because between doing the Writers Boot Camp, recording all the videos for that and managing that, and then all of my work stuff, and then traveling a lot and being at a lot of different events, it's been really hard. Yeah. And yeah, I'm so glad you've learned so much from my videos. This is a great opportunity too during this chat to ask me questions. If you guys have any, you can just drop them into the chat. What we do is we write in like 10, 15-minute bursts. And today we're going to do 2 10-minute bursts because I only have half an hour. I have a work thing I'm supposed to be at. That's where I'm actually sitting right now. And then I've got to like run over to that and do that. So I'm trying to fit it all in at one time. I might have to like make these writing sprints for like 6 in the morning. Just kidding. I'm not going to do that even. I don't want to get up that early. So let's put up the sprint prompt today is what does when your character sees a long lost friend or pet or something like that. I just saw a video on TikTok with a guy that had been away for a long time and his dog was at baggage claim with his friend and how the dog just like went berserk when he saw him. So I thought that would be a great little prompt to do. I'm going to do a little bit of writing myself as well. I don't have the timer set up today, so I'm just going to time it myself and we'll come back in 10 minutes and then I'll answer any questions that you guys have. And that's basically how it works. If you don't watch it live, you can always, of course, watch it afterwards on the channel. And if you ever have a question, you just drop it down below. Let me know what videos you guys have liked recently, too, if you want to give me some feedback in there. Did you like the analysis of the scenes of that first chapter? Did you like the Q&A video? Did you like the motivation videos? Or are you more like, I really need some more content? Anything like that. I appreciate the feedback so that I know what to deliver to you guys to make you happy. Make everybody happy, right? So, all right, we're going to start our first sprint. I'm going to put my timer on for 10 minutes and we'll just write. If you want to try the prompt, that's awesome. And if you just want to write whatever you're doing, that's totally cool too. We'll see you guys in 10 minutes. So we go up to 130. I can check out on this too on the well, he can make my drink or make it paid for my rental. Yeah, let me bring it to you. Okay, yep. Yeah. Thank you. Hey guys, how'd that go? Yes, Jenny, I hear you with time to write. By the way, my work thing, they sent over a glass of wine, so I'm gonna have that during the second sprint. And sorry for finishing my pretzel while I was writing. It's been a long day. So, and yes, I definitely need more time to write. I've been sneaking it in little bits in the morning because that's my best time to get it in before I start my work day. Maybe an hour a day, just working on something that a romantic suspense that I've been working on for a little while. NBR, the analysis video on the first chapter and the scene master class you really like. That's awesome. I love doing those because it really helps me explain the concepts to you guys. And I know that when I spoke in person at the Southwest Florida Fiction Writers Conference last weekend, they really like that too because I had real book examples on how you do point of view or how you make the story more compelling. Hey, Cheryl, nice to see you, and Victoria too. Um, and Astrid, I'd like to learn when to cut a chapter. You mean when to end it or when to revise, or what do you mean by cut? Like take it out entirely? My rule of thumb is if it's not advancing the plot, you can take it, you either rewrite it or you take it out, which means something has to happen. The character has to take an action, and that action has to impact them emotionally and also impact the plot. A lot of writers put in scenes that they're like, well, this is just to show my character being nice, or this is just to add some humor to the book. That's great to add those things, but if they don't advance the plot or raise the stakes or make things worse in some way, then you don't need that scene or you need to replace it. Jenny, the characters are about to kiss, but then they hear a scream from the hallway, or there'll be a revelation, and then I cut it. Yes, also, that's a good thing to cut when there's a hook. Um, it depends. So, scene and sequel says, you decide whether the character gets what they go after or not. Okay, let's back up. Scene and sequel theory is that in a scene, the character has a goal. They're taking an action towards a goal. They either achieve it or they don't, but either way, things get worse. So, like if your character has to get a clue, maybe they go into this room and they go to talk to the guy who has the information, but he's dead. So things got worse. You can have the sequel right then and there where they're like, oh crap, now what do I do? I've got to find somebody else. The sequel is the reaction part, or you can move that to another place. It depends on your pacing, whether you have a great hook, like a dead body is a great hook, a great place to end a chapter and then move on to the next one, or something else you want to accomplish. The whole goal is to keep the reader reading. Um, Busy revising and adding suggestions for my editor. That's Silver Ollie. Nice to see you by an NBR. I'm at work. I'm also at work. Technically, I'm supposed to be at this event. I can hear everybody over there. You guys might be able to hear them too. We're in this bar called Taps in Tampa, and we're supposed to go. This is the company that I partner with, so it's like a sort of a job, sort of not a job. Like I partner with them. And we're going to go do Clue at the Strads Theater. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Tampa, but it should be super fun. And I'm having some wine first. So, and I'm still working on that romantic suspense proposal that I had sent off to my agent. I'd like to get a little bit more done because a lot of times when editors come back, they're like, do you have more to show me? And I'm like, I have like 2 pages. So I'm trying to add a lot more there. And I'd also thought of a couple of twists that I could add to it. So I want to go back and do that. I was listening to an audiobook from Audible. It was like an Audible original in my car, and they had some really great twists in the first third of the audiobook. It was awesome. I was like, wow, I didn't see those coming. It was really good. So I was intently listening to this because I loved those twists so much. There wasn't a single twist after that. Everything that happened in the last 2/3 of the story was totally predictable. So I was really disappointed. When you can put in a twist that really surprises the reader, that's awesome. Doesn't always happen because sometimes it's hard. And Victoria, 4,900 words today. That is awesome. And too many family members make it hard to follow than friends and coworkers, right? And connections. Yeah, sometimes family can be a real pain. You guys have heard in my videos that when my kids were little, I got up at 4:30 in the morning because I had to write before anybody else got up, and I had to really stake out that writing time for myself. My first husband was not supportive of my career, and so if I wanted to write, I had to get up really, really ridiculously early and get it in before I started the rest of my day with the kids and my job and stuff like that. So whenever you can get that time, and if it's important to you, make sure you take it. All right, let's do another 10 minutes and I'll come back and let me know if you end up doing the prompt or whatever else you end up doing. See you guys in 10 minutes. Jimmy, go over there. Hey guys, I'm back. We did our 10 minutes and we don't have that much time today because, like I said, I have this other thing to get to. So I'm just gonna just trying to scroll back up to the comments. Um, Natalie, too many family members and it makes it hard to follow more than yes. In the Natalie meant in the novel. Yes, if you have too many people, you either have to make them stand out somehow by them being very strong characters. Like I'm reading Chuck Wendig's Black River Orchard right now, and the characters definitely sound different from each other. So I don't get confused with them. Like I can see them and understand them. But each of the scenes that he has doesn't have more than a couple of people for the most part. Every once in a while, there's been like a dinner party and things like that where there's been a bunch of scenes, but it's usually like two or three people. That way you can keep it more centralized on some certain characters. Because you gotta think of it like a cocktail party. Too many characters and it's really hard to keep it true. Um, and not a problem, Natalie, with being French and sorry in the syntax. That's not at all. And I'm reading fast too. And Jenny, my problem is I have to reveal different things in the same scene. For example, a revelation about the main plot of one character's feelings. It would be great if you could put those together, like somehow the impact of what happens in the plot impacts the feelings, or the feelings impact the revelation to the plot. If you have watched my video on the care method, which I'm going to do another one on that because I think that it's really helpful to you guys, action, reaction, impact, you can put both things in there in a really good way. And Astrid, let's see. My problem is I'm pretty okay cracking content and writing hooks for the next chapter, but I'm constantly hitting that 4,000 word mark and worried about overall word count pacing. I guess it matters more depending on your author, but for a first time author, it looks bad to have a mega book. Um, well, partly because first time authors tend to overwrite. They tend to put in way too much backstory, way too much telling, and don't keep the plot moving along well. If you download my highlighter method of learning to plot, which the link is in the description of every single one of my videos and right on the about part of my channel, that will teach you how to analyze other books and then you can apply that to your own book. When I did that way back when I first started, it was eye-opening. I was like, oh, I'm missing all of this and I have way too much of this. It really, really did help quite a bit. And does anybody else struggle with writing a gripping first line? NBR asked. Yes, absolutely. Everybody does, I think, because you're constantly fixing that and flirting with it and trying to make it good. I studied a lot of first lines when I was first starting out. I still do. I still look at first lines that are really awesome. And then I'm like, oh my God, how can I make one so strong, as strong as that? Astrid said, I try hard to do a good first line, but really it's something that I'll probably rewrite 30 times. So same. Victoria, when can I put a plot twist at the end of the story and make it expand to the next book? Well, you can put it right in the very last scene if you want to. It depends on what you're doing. So in the first Marvelous Monroe Girls book, Marvelous Monroe Girls, there was a plot twist right at the end of it that led into book two. But I had already kind of set up that this would be the last thing that that character would do at the end. And then when it happened at the end, people were like, wait, I didn't see that coming because it was completely out of character for her. So you want to be able to make sure that the reader is invested in this character and this plot twist long before you get to it, and B, that it has enough meat to carry people into the next book, and C, that you don't make them wait like 3 years for the next book because they'll forget, they'll lose that. When I see a plot twist at the end of a book, I really want to get that next book as quickly as possible because if I've forgotten what that book is by the time I get it, then that doesn't help me at all. But definitely hook that reader. And first line writing a novella helps. I think writing short and writing long are not necessarily different things. Some people say that they are. Like I had a whole discussion last weekend with the people in with somebody in the Florida writers group that I spoke at. You have all the same elements in a short book as you do in a long book. It's just not as complex. Like you can't have as complex of a plot or as complex of a character because you don't have the space to explore that and dive deeper into it. But you still have those same elements of goal, motivation, conflict, and hooks and twists and scene and sequel and all of that in there. And you still have to grab somebody from the very first page and keep them grabbed all the way through to the end. It doesn't matter the length of it. So, hope I answered all of your questions for today. And I know this is short. I'm really sorry, guys. Next week, I'm going to my stepdaughter's graduation from college. So I won't be here. I know, like I first come back and then all of a sudden I'm gone again, but I'll be here after that. I have no trips planned for a couple of months, so I should be here for a while. I did just register for one day of Sleuth Fest. If any of you are going to be there, let me know in the comments. And I also registered for the entire VoucherCon conference in New Orleans, so I will also be there. So let me know in the comments if you're going to be there at either one of them. And can A Thousand Great Books, I'll do this real quick. Can you convey emotion while telling instead of showing? Yes, but it's not as powerful, I think. Because if you use was or felt or seemed or whatever, any one of those telling words, it just doesn't have the punch that showing would have. Now, that said, if it's not a super critical moment in your book and you just want to say, like, she didn't get the job that she wanted and she was sad, but the job is not the main plot, then that's okay because you're just getting across this one small thing. But if this is a moment in your plot that you want the reader to pay attention to and you want them to be connected to your character for, that's when you really do put that showing in and make it really strong. And 500 word kid books still have a lot of the elements. Yes, Silver Raleigh. I have used Guess How Much I Love You in a lot of my in-person workshops to prove that goal, motivation, and conflict, both external and internal, exist even in a book that's like 500 words. So one of these days I should probably do that for you guys, like talk about how Guess How Much I Love You, that little book with big nut brown hair and little nut brown hair, has all of those elements. And great job, Victoria, with almost 5,000 words. So I will see you guys in probably 2 weeks. I might try to sneak in like a bonus writing sprint. If I do find time to do that between here and 2 weeks from today, I will put up a live, like an announcement on my channel, either on the community page or in the live page so that you guys will know it's coming. I appreciate you all joining me here after like 2 months of no sprints. I've really enjoyed writing with you guys. I got about 1,000 words done. I'm really excited because I have missed my book quite a bit. So thank you guys for joining me, and I will see you on the channel. And let me know in the comments if there's anything else you want me to talk about. Thanks, guys.